Recharge with Doc Recharge. Ed Talks.
Hello! Magandang gabi ulit sa ating mga tagapanood dito sa ating live show, Talk with Doc Recharge. And welcome po sa lahat ng mga subscribers natin, no? Especially dito sa ating media partner, Pro Expert Media, and sa ating Filipino Daily Herald. So we're live right now, very live right now dito sa Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. Kumusta po sa lahat ng mga members ng SRK community, particularly sa mga students, sa mga parents, no? Pwede kayong mag-hi, hello, mamaya shout out natin yung mga live audience natin, no? We have 82 live audience as of now. And sa mga parents po ng SRK, mga teachers, mga trainers, no, ng SRK Group International, magandang gabi sa inyo. And yes, we are now on our episode number 3. No? Napakabilis ng panahon when we started this show 2 Wednesdays ago. And right now, we're down into our third episode for this month. So, recap lang natin yung topic natin from last week bago tayo pumunta dun sa bagong topic natin, no, for this week, no. Yung basic things that UAE parents need to know in educating their kids here in the UAE. So, last week, nasagot natin, no, I think most of the questions, lahat ng mga bagay tungkol sa ano ba yung mga kailangang malaman ng mga parents when they will be enrolling their students, no, their children here in the United Arab Emirates. Where it be enrolled, when it will be enrolled, no, what are the things that they need to prepare, no, especially yung mga parents na galing sa mga traditional schools na gustong lumipat sa ibang mga providers ng online distance learning program, and yung mga directly na galing ng Pilipinas na dadali ng mga bata dito, no. Inisa-isa natin yung mga requirements, no, plus the fees, no. Ang daming mga magagandang questions na lumabas last week. So yeah, yun yung a brief recap of what we had last week, no, as part of our Talk with Doc Recharge episode number 2. And for this episode number 3, medyo tatapangan na natin, no? When I say tapang, talagang sige na, i-all out na natin ang mga information, particularly with SRK Education Group International. I think that this topic is one of the most sensitive topic na i-discuss dito sa episode na to, but I thought of including this topic, no, particularly to give an insight para sa lahat ng mga parents, no, who are wondering what is the difference ba ng traditional school versus the training center approach for the face-to-face, no, na execution ng ating Philippine Basic Education dito sa United Arab Emirates. Since talagang nakita ko I think we are the second biggest player, no, nung pumasok tayo dito sa Abu Dhabi nung nagsimula tayo nito, no, opening up and setting up a training center in particular, instead of setting up a traditional school, no, yung PSO, yung Philippines School Overseas na accredited ng ADEC at saka ng DepEd. So tayo yung isa sa mga unang naglakas ng loob right now, no, today, to really expose, no, the secret behind the difference on school and training centers. Usually sa SRK, in particular, these are some of the top secret na sasabihin namin, no? But then again, most of the parents naman would know, especially yung mga members na ng SRK community, kasi part ng trust namin sa Filipino community dito na ibigay talaga at ilatag talaga sa kanila lahat ng information. So, kung sa other providers siguro hindi clear at hindi malinaw yung pagkaka-explain, dito sa SRK, no, together with Talk with Doc Recharge, iisa-isahin natin yan lahat, no. Matapang nating ilalahad lahat at matapang nating sasagutin lahat ng questions nyo, in particular, kung ano ang difference ng traditional schooling, no, under the Philippines School Overseas execution at ng mga training centers, no, under the online distance learning program. So we'll be talking about the difference, the pros and cons, of course, the advantage and disadvantage, which I think the same with the pros and cons. What do you need to know? Ano yung mga kailangan nyo malaman? Then later on, we will be opening our questions, no? para masagot natin yung ibang mga questions nyo na hindi pa rin makakapasok dun sa mga i-discuss natin today. So, first and foremost, I would like to dwell on the difference of our EdTalk this week is that is more on interactive and proactive. So, I have tips on how to choose the schools and the questions asked when considering certain training center or school for your child. So, kung hindi man kayo sa SRK, mag-enroll, no, at least you are properly guided, no. Kung sa ibang provider man kayo mag-enroll, at least you are properly provided, which is ito rin yung ginagawa ko during continuous program orientation ng SRK, no. Nagde-develop kami ng mga questions which is very favorable for the parents para kung hindi man sila tumuloy sa amin, at least alam nila sa next provider ano yung mga kailangan nilang hanapin, ano yung mga kailangan nilang tanungin, no? Para legally speaking, wala talaga maging problema in terms of execution. Kasi we've seen, no, in particular in Dubai, actually pati dito sa Abu Dhabi din, meron ding mga ilang incident na within the school year, biglang nag-o-online ng mga bata or biglang itinitigil yung mga on-site execution or face-to-face execution. So maybe some of the parents is wondering, bakit ang SRK hindi? Bakit ang SRK tuloy-tuloy na nakakapag-execute ng face-to-face execution nila without hamper, no? So, of course, unlike nung time na nagkaroon ng pandemic, talagang meron. Pero given this very open scenario na meron tayo dahil hindi na uso yung pandemic ngayon, so dapat dire-diretso na yan. So, ano ba yung mga possible reason bakit nga ba napapatigil yung mga on-site or face-to-face execution ng ibang providers? Sasagutin natin yan. Okay, and also for this episode, we'll be announcing again winners of the 10 commenters last week. Now, ipa-flash natin mamaya sa screen. Ayan, actually, ayan na sila. Ipa-flash natin sila sa screen and then kukontakin po kayo ng ating admin, no, para dun sa ating 20% discount voucher from EdTech Supplies. Ayan, okay? So now, let's have the explanation behind enlightenment on the traditional schools versus training centers. No? You know the drill, no? Later on, you can ask questions by chatting on the comment section on the live stream. If-feed yan sa akin ng staff ko dito sa Pro Expert at sasagutin natin yan isa-isa. Okay? So ano nga ba yung difference ng school, ng training centers at saka ng school? Okay? Yung school, per se, the Philippine School Overseas are traditional schools. Of course, we cannot compete with them. No, kaming the like of us who are providing online distance learning are really cannot compete. You cannot compare an orange to an apple, sabi nga nila, di ba? So iba talaga ang apple at iba ang orange. So PSO is PSO. Why? Kasi they have a proper setup. Okay? Ito, isa na to sa mga magandang pag-usapan natin ngayon. They have proper setup, they are having a proper school setup. Kung mapapansin niyo po, pwede kayong pumunta sa mga I think dito sa UAE, dito sa Abu Dhabi in particular, meron tayong 3 na Philippine School Overseas. I'm not particular with Dubai. I think meron ding around 3 or 4. Then in Sharjah, meron ding 2 ata or 3. So parang yon, parang ito yung 3 emirate na meron tayong mga Philippine School Overseas. I'm not sure with other emirates but as far as I'm concerned, Sharjah, Dubai at saka ang Abu Dhabi, meron mga Philippine School Overseas yan. Ano po ba yung Philippine School Overseas? So sila yung mga Filipino school, ito yung sinasabi ko po last week, na nag-o-offer ng Filipino curriculum for the Filipino community. So sila talaga yung mga accredited ng ADEC, sila yung accredited po ng Department of Education in the Philippines. 2 accreditation po yan. So if you will be asking ESIS, no, yung number, the perpetual number ng mga estudyante po dito, meron po ang mga bata na naka-enroll sa mga Philippine School Overseas. And meron din sila ng LRN, which is yun po yung requirement naman para maging DepEd, official DepEd student po kayo. So yung Learner's Reference Number at saka yung ESIS, parehas po yan available sa mga Philippine School Overseas. While ang mga nag-o-offer po ng online distance learning program, no? Kami po sa SRK nagsimula kami, to be honest, with homeschool program. In 2019, meron akong isang school partnership na kinuha from the Philippines directly. Accredited sila ng DepEd to offer homeschooling. Actually, wala pang ang proper permit nung time na yon. Wala po talagang proper accreditation or permit system ang homeschool nung time na yon. So, magsasabi ka lang sa DepEd na you will be providing homeschool and then they will be getting some documentations from you. Pwede ka na mag-offer ng homeschooling. Unlike after the pandemic, ni-regularize po talaga ng Department of Education ang homeschooling program. So yung homeschooling program po during the pandemic, isa na po siya sa mga modalities. And after the pandemic po, ginawa na siya ng permit system ng Department of Education po. And soon enough, dahil nga po nagkaroon ng conflict of interest between homeschool providers at saka mga Philippine School Overseas, I think ang mga PSO po ang naglakad nito na talagang hindi po pwedeng mag-enroll ng homeschool program ang mga Pilipino if they are outside the Philippines. So number 1 na po na tip ito ha. Kapag po ang provider nyo ay inalo kayo ng homeschool na DepEd accredited and you are here in the United Arab Emirates, that's a big question mark na po kagad. Kasi bawal po yun. Okay? Actually, hindi naman siya bawal. Talaga technically per se, inaalaw pa rin ng DepEd pero hindi po mare-record yon sa grade level kung saan po siya naka-enroll for that specific school year. So, unless pagbalik nyo ng Pilipinas, magte-take po kayo ng PEPT to convert po yung mga homeschool program nyo into an actual grade level para makorek po yung age po nila dun sa grade level po na i-enrollan nila kung babalik po kayo ng Pilipinas. So, yung number 1 tip ko po ha, kapag po kayo ay inalok ng homeschool program na nasa outside of the Philippines kayo, tapos yung homeschool provider ay nasa Pilipinas po, you need to question the legality of that. Kasi there is a standing DepEd memorandum that would not allow Filipino students outside the Philippines to take on homeschooling program directly from a provider in the Philippines. Okay? Ia-allow po yon, pero hindi po siya mare-record. So technically, hindi po talaga nag-grade level, nag-take ng grade level yung bata na yon. Unless mag-take po kayo ng PEPT. Yung PEPT po is a specialized exam para sa mga bata para makorek po yung age level nila dun sa grade level nila na papasukan po nila kung babalik kayo sa Pilipinas. So number 1 na tip na po na yun. No? And then, after po ng pandemic, dahil nga during the pandemic po, nag-invest mostly ang mga private schools into equipments for online delivery modality. So, kaya po during the time ng pandemic, nauso po yung ODL, yung online distance learning, kung saan synchronously ginagawa po yung mga lessons, no? Maximum po nito 3 hours per day ang kailangan po na merong screen time ang bata sa computer. Kasi hindi po pwede yung ginawa ng ibang mga schools during pandemic na kung ano yung execution nila sa on-site, ginawa din nila online, no? 35 students, pinasok nila sa Zoom yung 35 students, tapos 8 hours execution din dito. So, hindi po yun pinayagan ng DepEd kasi nga, ang naging problema po doon is yung screen time. Yung, alam niyo naman po, di ba, sobrang delikado po sa mga bata na ma-expose ng more than 4-5 hours in the screen time. So, kaya po yung ODL na tinatawag po, it's a limited time online, pero may mga asynchronous activities pa rin po na pinapagawa po sa mga bata para dire-diretso pa rin po yung execution ng curriculum. So ngayon po yung ODL na to, ito po yung inalaw ng DepEd para sa lahat ng mga Filipino students all over the world. Okay? So kaya kung ang inaalok po ng inyong mga providers ay ODL, it's okay. No, wala po kayong magiging problema kasi po yung ODL as a modality, available po yan sa LIS ng DepEd. So, face-to-face at saka online po, pwede pong mag-choose para po makapag-produce ng LRN at eventually, mai-record po yung grade level ng bata. So, ayun po yung difference ng dalawang ito, ng ODL provider at saka po ng PSO, which is yung school po. So, ngayon, bakit po may pumasok na training center? So, yung training center naman po, ginagamit po ang training center not for the K-12 or the basic education execution po in particular. So, yung training center po ay ginagamit as part po ng mga on-site delivery ng mga subjects po ng mga bata. Through tutorial and program approach, training program approach. So tutorial meaning, instead na yung bata po ay maghapon nasa online or 3 hours nasa online po, no, hindi pa rin po makukuha. May mga subject po kasi na hindi talaga kayang ituro online. 100%. So kailangan pa rin po ng mga bata ng support, no, para continuous po yung learning po nila. So pwede po silang pumasok sa mga training centers to supplement po yung online delivery ng execution. So doon po sa training center po, itututor po sila, tinututor po sila, at doon din po ginagawa yung mga programs, yung mga programa na align po doon sa curriculum ng DepEd. So kaya po, ang mga training centers po, hindi po sila school talaga per se na nag-e-execute ng basic education program. But instead, they are the support centers po, mga learning centers and learning facilities kung tawagin ko po sila, na nagpo-provide po ng additional learning modality on a face-to-face modality pa nga po para po dun sa mga bata na naka-ODL directly from the Philippines. But here is the catch. Yung mga training centers po, if they are here in the United Arab Emirates, particularly here in Abu Dhabi, they should be licensed by the proper authority. Okay? Dito sa UAE po, sa Abu Dhabi in particular, ang license po na ginagamit natin is coming from 2 entities. Kailangan may license po sila from the Department of Economic Development at kailangan may license po sila from ACVET or yung Abu Dhabi Center for Technical Vocation, Education and Training. So, kung dalawang license na to, ang kailangan nyo pong hanapin sa mga providers ninyo para ma-ensure po na talagang sila ay actual training center na pwedeng mag-provide ng mga tutorial programs po natin. Okay? So, hahanapin nyo po yung license, titingnan nyo po yung license kung nandun po yung tutorial activities both in the DED and the ACVET license po. So, kapag wala po yung mga tutorial activities po na yun, kahit po sila ay ACVET at training center na accredited at may DED license sila, big question mark po uli yun. Kasi po ang mangyayari kapag po yan ay napasyalan ng ACVET at saka ng DED one time at nakita nila na nagra-run sila ng program na wala dun sa license po nila, the tendency po is ipatigil talaga yung activity. No? Hindi po yan i-allow ng government ng Abu Dhabi na mag-run po. So that is the tedious part kung saan ang SRK Education Group International po ay nag-invest heavily. Kaya makikita nyo po lahat ng mga centers natin dito sa Abu Dhabi at saka po sa Dubai po, may mga proper license po yan dun sa mga diniscuss ko na tutorial programs at mga support programs po na binibigay po natin dun sa mga bata po na naka-ODL directly from the Philippines. Kaya nga po, what we are tagging ourselves is SRK Distance Education Middle East. So, hindi po kami schools talaga. So, kung yung mga pangalan po ng mga ODL ay gumagamit ng word na school, big question mark po uli yan. Why? Kasi hindi po yan inaalaw ng DED. No, only the proper traditional schools has the right to use the word school sa kahit ano pong business license na ini-apply po nila dito sa DED. So, I hope I'm making sense, no? Na-explain ko po ng tama yung mga questions na pwede nyong itanong sa mga providers nyo po. Just in case po. Again, these are top secret po namin supposedly. But then again, I'm exposing it, no? Hindi po yan para sa, in particular, makinabang po kami, no? I really wanted this to, really, ang dream ko nga po, lahat po kaming provider ng mga distance education program po dito sa UAE ay magkaisa, for us to be united and for us to be able to regularize po to para wala na pong itinatago, wala na po tayong kailangang hindi po tayo kailangang matakot dahil alam natin in particular po na regularize and legal po yung lahat ng mga proseso na ginagawa natin in terms of the execution ng mga distance learning online distance learning program po na pinoprovide natin para sa Filipino community. So, yeah, medyo napahaba po ito. So, I'll be posing for a break before I go on to some of the questions. I think marami pong questions na lalabas, no? In particular dito sa mga in-expose natin for today, no? But then again, feel free to comment po yung mga questions nyo and later on po, after the short break, I'll be answering you all your questions dito lang sa Talk with Doc Richards. and welcome back sa Talk with Doc Richards, no? And I would just like to make a special shout out dun sa mga regular viewers natin. Di ko na iisa-isahin, no? Yung mga sina-shout out ko weekly. Alam niyo na kung sino kayo, lalo na yung mga members ng SRK Education Group International staff. Sa parents ko, kay Nanay Celia and Tatay Renato, and sa mga in-laws ko, Mama Raquel and Papa Paul, no? Hello sa inyong lahat. Sa mga kids ko din, I think yung eldest ko is watching also. Kay Kuya Inigo. Okay, so let's go on to some of the questions. No? If my child is a graduate from a training center, is she eligible to college both here in the Philippines? Will there be no problem? Again, hindi po sa training center gagraduate ang bata, ha? Kung naka-enroll sa mga ODL, they will be graduate from the school partners na po-provide po ng online distance learning program sa Pilipinas. And to answer po, yes, nakakapasok po sila sa any college and universities anywhere in the world. No, syempre kailangan lang nating i-comply yung mga local compliance natin. Like for example, here in the UAE, bago kayo makatransfer dito, kung galing ng Pilipinas yung records ng bata, kailangan po nating ipa-attest. Pero I think for US, for Europe, no, napakadami na namin mga bata na nakalipad sa Canada din. Wala namang kailangang attestation, no. The documents na bit-bit nila, original copy lang, tinatanggap naman ng mga schools from all over America and Europe, no. In the Philippines lalo, kasi syempre may LRN yung mga yan eh. So, but the school is the partner school in the Philippines sila naka-enroll, hindi po sa training center. Okay? Number 3, if I decide to transfer my child from a regular school to a training center, will there be problems or complications and vice versa? From regular to school to sa amin, wala po kayong magiging problem. Actually, ayun nga po yung nakikita namin na trend eh. No? Tinignan ko yung mga enrollees namin for this year. Ang dami po na naging trend is from the traditional PSO ay naglilipatan po sa mga ODL providers like us. So, siguro nakikita na rin nila yung beauty po ng mga programs po natin. Kaya po unti-unti po silang naglilipatan. And to answer po yung vice versa, meron na rin kaming mga ganyang mga experience po from the past. Na yung mga naka-enroll sa PSO, nagpunta sa amin, then eventually bumalik po sa mga PSO, wala rin po silang naging problema. Yun nga lang, kailangan pong i-attest yung mga documents kasi hindi po yun requirement namin. Requirement po yun ng local government ng UAE. Kasi yun po, part po yun ng ano nila, ng checking po nila kung legit ba talaga yung mga documents na pinoprovide. Okay? Next question. When does academic year start in the UAE? In the UAE, usually it's September. But right now, ngayon nga, meron kaming may dilemma kami. Kasi for the past 4 years, nagsimula kami August, lagi ito yung school year namin. But as you know, during that time po, 2019, inalaw talaga ang mga private school to start and begin August, just like the University of the Philippines, no, execution ng time na yon. But then right now, dahil nakita nila yung effect ng global climate change, no, yung global climate change na nangyayari, na pagdating ng April, May, lalo na sa mga public school, hindi po talaga kaya yung face to face. Kaya parang I think the drive po ng government ng Philippines is ibalik sa June to March. So we're still studying that concept po on at least on SRK's perspective. Then again, we'll be able to know kung mababago po yan in time. Is it different with training centers and schools? Yes. In particular po, sabi ko nga sa inyo, kami ay August to May. Tapos I think meron din pong gumagamit ng September to June. Tinutulad na nila sa school year po dito sa UAE. Which is, I think wala naman pong problema yan kasi especially particularly po pag private school at saka mga partner schools po sa Pilipinas. They can decide naman what school. Ayun po ang yun po ang direction naman ng DepEd pag sa mga private school. Usually, ang public school po ang meron. So, do we follow the DepEd or UAE academic year? It should be DepEd academic year, especially kung kung ODL. Pero kung PSO po, UAE academic year po dapat. Okay, do you have an idea how much the school fees increase each year? It depends po sa request po ng mga PSOs yan. But for us po sa mga training centers, like for us, in the last 3 years po, no, tuition fee increase po kami. Although meron kami mga dinadagdag po na fees, 2 years pala. For this coming school year, nagdagdag kami ng 5%, pero hindi po yung school fee. That is for the VAT. Kasi naging VAT registered na po yung company. Okay? Is Arabic mandatory to be taught in schools? For PSO, I think it is mandatory kasi nga po, it is an ADEC and DepEd approved curriculum. But for ODL po at saka sa mga training centers, hindi naman po siya required. But I think meron po ako nakikita ng mga providers na nagpo-provide ng Arabic. Actually, yan ang trust din sa amin ng ibang mga parents po, no, to offer additional foreign language, no? May mga nagre-request ng French, ng Chinese, no? Wala pala akong nakahanap na trainer eh. Pero eventually po, no, kapag magkaroon tayo ng chance na social, makita mo, mga estudyante ng SRK, no? French speaking, no? O kaya Mandarin speaking. Why not, di ba? Possible po yan. So yung Arabic speaking po, yung Arabic class po, in particular, hindi naman po siya requirement for ODL. For PSO, I think, yeah, it is required po. Doc, how do I know if the school is future ready? Can I say sending him to training center makes him one? Future ready proof po is not on the kind of schools where your child is being enrolled or your children is being enrolled. No? Yung future proof po na tinatawag is on the delivery po of the curriculum and instruction. So, like for example, I can tell you, one of our school partners po is yung St. Paul, St. Paul College Pasig, no? I was there last month, no? Ayun talaga, futuristic po talaga yung campus na yun kasi which we plan po to benchmark kasi nakita po talaga namin yung mga AI laboratories nila, yung mga robotic laboratories po nila. Napakagaganda po, talagang pwede po mag-simulate ang mga bata po whenever they will be entering those kind of facilities po. So, in SRK, I can say, no, especially in particular po for this school year po, that we are future proof, no, in terms of our curriculum kasi napakadami pong mga bagong offerings po na gagawin po. Like, for example po, yung pong aming Peons Robotics na once a quarter po kami nagkakaroon ng robotics classes. Ngayon gagawin po namin siya more often kasi we are planning to do coding workshops na po para sa aming mga estudyante para din maging ready po sila dun sa mga event po na sasalihan po namin for this school year. Like we have one scheduled in Malaysia and one in Japan. So mamimili lang po kami ng mga estudyante po namin kung sino yung mga magiging participants po namin na ipadadala namin dito sa mga international competitions na to. And in addition po, I am about to enter a contract with Educ Technologies, Educational Technology Company in the Philippines, wherein yung lahat ng high school students po na ito ay surprise po dapat to pero i-announce ko na this time around, no? Yung mga high school students po namin, a part of their ICT curriculum would be game development po. Magkakaroon na po ng game development activities and access to game development portal ang lahat ng mga grade 7 and above na estudyante po ng SRK. So meaning, at the end of the school year po, possibly po, makapag-develop sila ng mga own games nila. And you know, the trend po right now, no, yung mga billionaires, mga young millionaires and billionaires po ngayon sa America and in the Philippines in particular, mostly mga developers po yan. So kaya i-incorporate na po natin yung game development curriculum sa ICT natin for this coming school year. Hindi na po tayo, we are not, 314, yan, biglang tumaas tayo. So we will not be having coding na lang in particular. Itong mga game development programs na gagawin natin are non-coded, non-coded application. So ibig sabihin mas madali po, no? Nakikita niyo po yung mga bata talaga ngayon usong-uso lahat mga nag-online games, possibly kaya na po nilang gumawa through the ICT program na i-launch po natin officially for this school year. Okay, last question natin before we go on to the tips. Magpo-post tayo ng commercial break after this question. What are the ways by which children are assessed here in the UAE, both schools and training centers? It is the same, no? In particular sa amin sa SRK, kung ano yung mga lessons, usually, yun yung po yung tinitake po namin. But in particular po, no, highly specialized po yung assessment program po namin sa SRK because we believe po in the execution of outcomes-based education. So OBE po yung approach namin sa SRK. Kaya po ini-ensure po talaga namin na may mga prompting po tayo, no, through yung mga in-depth reviews po natin na ginagawa. Part po yan ng school year namin actually, no, yung mga review sessions po na bago po sila mag-exam. we are setting them to to be successful. Yun po yung goal ng OBE, ng outcomes-based education. Makita po talaga natin na merong nakukuha, na ma-master po ng mga bata, ng mga estudyante, yung mga subject na kailangan po nilang i-master. In particular, yung mga major subjects, no? English, Math, Science. These 3 subjects po, they cannot run away from this. No, pumunta kayo ng Pilipinas, maiwan kayo dito, punta kayo ng America or Europe, English, Math, Science are there. So ito po yung mga 3 major subjects po na iniraran po namin, in particular for mastery po. Then we have the minor academic subject, Filipino. Hindi po pwedeng mawala yung Filipino, social studies, values education. So yan po. Tapos may mga portfolio nga po kami na mga subjects, no, wherein hindi po book-based kasi nga outcomes-based po yung education sa natin, no, yung approach po natin sa SRK. Kaya napakaganda. Experiential yung learning. Yung music po natin, naghahawak sila ng mga musical instrument. Yan nga po, for the ICT, hawak sila ng gagawa sila ng mga computer games at saka po ng mga robotics. No, we have 346 as and when we are about to end po yung mga questions and answers po natin. But then again, sige po, dahil ngayon lang nag-shoot up yung mga subscribers po natin, tatanggap pa tayo ng few questions after this very short break. No? See you around when we get back to our program, Talk with Doc Richards. Welcome back sa ating Talk with Doc Richards. Again, we are on episode number 3. Napakaganda ng naging discussion natin kanina about the difference between PSO, yung mga Philippine School Overseas at saka mga providers ng online distance learning program. At least we were able to answer some of the most difficult questions, no? Na kailangan po natin talagang sagutin at harapin. So ngayon, I think you are more equipped, no, to answer back, especially sa mga members po ng SRK community. I know that for a time medyo naharas po tayo ng ilan, no, na mga co-parents po siguro natin na hindi naniniwala dun sa beauty nung objective program execution po natin in terms of online distance learning, no, natin. Pero eventually nakita natin how we grew, no. Nakakatawa po this coming school year, again we are surpassing year by year, no, from that 100 student na naging 200, naging 500, 800, 1,200, 1,800. Ngayong tung coming school year would be the biggest again, surpassing yung 1,800 mark natin last year. We are about to welcome more than 2,000 students, no, for the whole SRK Education Group International for this school year. And why it's so? Kasi nakita na nila, no, unti-unti na natin napapakita, no. We kept our silence for the last 5 years in terms of the execution of the programs. Kasi nga, lagi tayo yung sinisiraan, lagi tayo yung naha-highlight, no. Lagi tayong isinusumbong, lagi tayong ikino-complain. But then again, we were able to hurdle all those obstacles kasi nakita din, no, it's a collective effort, collective partnership between the parents, the community in itself, and us, no, kaming mga provider. Nakita nyo din how beautiful yung pagkaka-execute, no? Na kahit na naka-ODL yung mga bata, na ibibigay talaga natin more than pa sa inaasahan ng mga parents. Kaya talagang nalalagpasan natin yung expectation year by year ng lahat ng mga nag-e-enroll sa atin. Okay, so this time around, magse-share lang ako ng some tips on how you would be able to ask relevant questions para dun sa mga providers nyo. Okay? So, wag po kayong magtataka ha, sa SRK, pag dadating kayo doon, na ang sasabihin kagad sa inyo, we are not a school. Kasi we are really not a school. No, we are really training centers po. Kung papasyal kayo sa mga tutorial and learning centers namin, yun ang paulit-ulit yung marinig sa kanila, that we are not a school. But yes, of course, we provide the basic K-12 education for Filipino communities. Actually, pati mga non-Filipino, tumatanggap na rin po tayo dahil meron tayong US curriculum. But then again, yung execution po natin is not K-12 Philippine School Overseas Execution. Kasi it is through the partnership po, na nagkataon lang po with SRK, na yung mga schools po natin sa Pilipinas, we own them. Which is a good thing also, no? Na maganda rin pong itanong to, na yung school partnership ba ng mga providers ng ODL nyo dito, for the face-to-face execution ng mga tutorial programs nyo, sila rin yung may-ari ng school sa Pilipinas. Of course, although dun sa simula namin, hindi din eh. Kasi meron din kami mga partner schools na okay naman po yung mga nagiging documentations. But for now, for this school year, I can proudly say na talagang yung dalawang school na magiging partner namin na binabanggit ko during the orientation, we own those schools. Kami din pong mag-asawa ang may-ari nitong school, mga eskwelahan na to sa Pilipinas na nagpo-provide ng ODL. And we also own SRK, yung mga training centers at saka yung mga tutorial centers po dito sa Philippines. Kaya whenever you will be requesting for documents, wala kayong magiging problema. And nag-a-assist din po kami for the attestation. So siguro yung magandang question din yon. Ask them, kayo din po ba ang may-ari ng mga school partnerships sa Pilipinas? Kasi if not, how good is the relationship? Kasi ang nakakaawa po dito yung mga bata at the end of the day, kapag nagkaroon ng rift between the provider dito sa UAE na training center at saka yung mga schools po sa Pilipinas na nagpo-provide naman ng ODL. Pag nagka-rift po yan, tendency, yung mga documents ng bata, maho-hold po ng mga schools sa Pilipinas. For example, hindi nagbayad ng pinagkasunduan nila. So, bago nyo makuha yung documents, baka ang tendency, pagbayarin uli kayo kaysa kahit na nagbayad na kayo sa mga partner nila dito sa UAE. Parang ganon. So, you just need to be very careful in terms of that kasi hard-earned money nyo po yung ibabayad nyo dun sa tuition fees, di ba? So, relevant question to ask. Maybe you can ask what curriculum that the school teach, no? What kind of curriculum they have. I think hindi lang kami ang nag-o-offer ng Philippine at US curriculum, madami po kami. And meron din po akong alam na nagpo-provide ng homeschool at saka ng ODL approach din, combination po, na British din. So sa amin po, wala kaming British eh. So kapag may naghahanap ng British, pwede po namin silang i-refer doon. Where is the school rank among international schools or is it the training center recognized in Abu Dhabi? Yung pong schools, yes, recognize sila. Yung ranking yan, depende po sa inspection ng ADEC, kung mga PSOs po yon. Pero yung training centers po, kailangan recognize po ng DED at saka ng ACVET. Or kung sa Dubai naman po, ng KHDA. Okay, relevant questions again. What is the average teacher-student or trainee-trainer ratio? Sa nakita po namin, nung time po na 3 hours po yung execution ng mga tutorial programs po namin na on-site, 10 to 12 students po, okay po kami. Pero as we progress po yung number of hours po namin, dinagdagan namin yung number of hours namin into 4, nagdagdag din po kami ng number of students. So ngayon, we are maximizing mga around 15 students po kami per classroom for the training center setup. But I think for the PSO, dahil maghapon po yung pasok niyan, usually 5-6 hours, or pag higher grade level, mas madami pa po yan, I'm sure. So, I'm not in particular, pero 20 to 25 to 30 students siguro, that would be decent for the PSOs. No, just like what we have in the Philippines, dun sa mga regular traditional schools po natin. Okay, communication channels. How does the school communicate with parents regarding student progress and important updates? So, dapat po yan, meron constant communication. Yung pong mga WhatsApp, usong-uso dito, no? Kami sa SRK, may mga WhatsApp group po kami per class para directly nakakapag-chat yung mga trainers po namin kung ano po yung mga nangyari for the day. No? And also emails, possible din po na may mga email communication po tayo. And sa amin po, ako particularly po, ni-utilize ko na po ang social media. No? I think 100%, no? Unless ikaw ay infant, 100% ng mga tao po, mga Filipino po dito ay in the social media, particularly in Facebook. So kaya ni-utilize ko na rin po yung social media in terms of communication platform. So meron kaming mga private groups, meron din po kaming pages, no, where you can find po yung different activities and execution ng program ng SRT. With respect to discipline policies, what are the school's discipline policies and procedures? Kami, in SRK po, we are adapting po yung mga DepEd rules. No, we have our own two handbooks po yan na guide po namin. No? One is called the Student Handbook, kung saan ang mga estudyante po ay ginaguide kung ano yung mga kailangan po nilang i-perform during their training sessions kapag nandun sila sa mga learning centers po namin. Tapos meron din kaming HR Employee Handbook para naman sa mga teachers po namin. Para in particular po yung mga parents, they can still feel safe na yung mga teachers, mga trainers po natin, mga staff po natin are still guided and bounded with different or certain policies po in terms of handling their children while they are in our care. Okay, one last question. Tip pala, tip kung paano nyo i-ask yung question is that, how does the school support students during transitions, such as moving from primary to high school? So, yan, kailangan nyo din pong tanungin yan, no? Ang school po ba, ang partner school nyo po ba sa Pilipinas ay may mga tao na pwedeng maggawa ng mga attestation just in case po na ililipat nyo sila. No, halimbawa, nag-graduate ng kinder po sa ODL, tapos pagdating ng grade 1, may mga ganyan po preschool lang po ipapasok sa amin, tapos pagdating ng grade 1, sa mga PSOs na nila ipapasok. So, ang kailangan po nila, yung attested document. So, pwede nyo itanong, meron po bang, like for example, ang partner school nyo po is in Cebu, tapos kayo ay taga Batangas. So, paano yun? Paano pupunta ng Cebu ang mga taga Batangas? Lilipad pa sila just for that. So, ang number one question nyo po in particular is, meron po bang from Cebu na pwedeng mag-ayos ng mga attestation? So, sa amin kasi I can answer, meron po kami. Meron pong mga tao po para, yun nga lang po, you just need to pay additional fees para i-LBC na lang yung mga documents kapag na-attest na po sila. Okay, so please like, share, and subscribe po sa ating mga pages, no, yung Filipino Daily Herald, EdTech Supplies, SRK Education Group International, and this ProExpert Media po. Particular to itong episode natin na to, baka pwede nyo pong i-like, share, and subscribe po tayo, no, sa ProExpert Media po para po masundan nyo pa po yung mga episodes po natin. Pwede nyo balikan din yung mga past episodes ko and maabangan nyo po yung mga susunod pa ng mga episodes ko. So at peak, we have 352 watchers po dun sa ating viewers pala dun sa ating ang tawag dito live feed, no? And last tip po is for you to be able to check kung yung mga Philippine schools pala sa Pilipinas na partner in terms of the execution of ODL are with government permit or recognized schools po ba sila. Kasi if not, that's a big X po. Hindi nyo po sila dapat i-enroll sa mga schools na hindi accredited ng Department of Education sa Pilipinas. So I'm quite sure kapag po yan yung mga PSO, may school yan dito, bago po nakapagtayo ng school yan dito, may permit po yan. But sa Pilipinas kasi, alam nyo naman, di ba? Ang dami doon, mga nagtatayo lang, mga nasa bahay lang, tapos maglalagay sila ng ganyan, pangalan ng school, then their school. But in particular, hindi naman pala. So, kailangan meron. Kasi ang regular school po sa Pilipinas, traditional school sa Pilipinas should have at least government permit. Ito po yung permit na kinukuha on a yearly basis kung hindi kayo recognized school. Or school recognition po from that school po. So, yun yung recognition naman, it's a perpetual permit na iginagrant ng Department of Education para sa mga schools na nakapag-comply sa lahat ng requirements for setting up a traditional school in the Philippines. So, yun po. I think we're down right now with some of our tips and questions. And I hope that I've been able to enlighten all your queries, no, all your worries, no, in particular. And don't forget to watch my next week episode. Last 2 Wednesdays po tayo for this season. Magsi-season finale tayo sa ating 5th episode, but of course, babalik tayo with more topics po sa ating personal vlog na to na Talk with Doc Richard. So for next week, ang i-discuss naman natin ay discussion on distance learning modality. Yung distance learning modality, ano po ba yon? Ano po yung online distance learning na tinatawag? Ano ba yung ODL? Paano ba yun ine-execute? Ano-ano ba yung mga kailangan kong i-prepare kung i-enroll ko ang anak ko sa ODL? Ano yung mga subjects? Paano po yun ini-execute yung mga ODL subjects na ito? Actually, yung ibang mga questions na to nasagot ko na kanina. Na like for example, yung gaano katagal yung screen time, di ba? So pero meron pang mga deep ideas na i-discussan nyo next week in particular for our ODL. So again, this has been Dr. Richard Paulo B. Deluria. Thank you for having me tonight as your companion during your dinner. Dinner na ba? Magsa-7 na. Yeah. And maraming salamat sa pagtutok dito sa ating personal vlog, Talk with Doc Richard. I'll see you again next week. Bye!
Get charged with Doc Richard. Ed Talks.